Hello, artist. Today is Tuesday, June the 2nd, and I have the day off. And when I say I have the day off, it means I don't have a show this evening. I spend a good portion of the day with my writing, with my producing videos like this one, with researching how I can improve the show that I've already established, the polish, the honing, a little bit of research into what maybe comes next. And that's really where I want to begin with stuff today. You don't, like I said in yesterday's essay, you don't keep adding seeds to an established garden. You cultivate and you rotate and you help the plants that are there get stronger. And the same is true with your art. Yes, we create. Yes, we make new things. But we also have to take the moment to care for that which we have already made. One of the things I've been thinking about lately is how much attention that we give to beginnings and how little attention we give to maintenance. Maintaining and caring for that which you already have is good stewardship. And good stewardship is good creativity. It's an exercise. And we celebrate launches, we celebrate grand openings, the first video, the first book, the first performance for a new client, the first sale, etc., etc. We celebrate planting the garden, but very few people gather to applaud someone for watering it on a Tuesday. And yet, that's where life happens. Sitting in the office a few days ago, this past weekend, preparing, getting ready for the weekend shows, looking out at this amazing view that I have. The view does what mountain views are supposed to do, right? Quietly reminding me of how small and temporary most of my urgencies actually are. On the table beside me is a notebook that I always keep with me everywhere that I go. The cover on this one is pretty worn. The corners are bent. There's tea stains and crossed out ideas and notes from airports and shopping lists and notes from hotel rooms and fragments of stories and reminders of myself that seemed really important at the time, enough to stop what I was doing and jot the idea down. It's not a pristine, beautiful notebook anymore, but it has been cared for, and somehow that really feels meaningful. Started thinking about the work that I do at the Stanley for 13 for the new show that I am writing. New shows from old ideas. The wine that hasn't come out of the cellar yet, but has been cultivating there in the dark and waiting. People see the performance, they see the show, they see the finished experience, but they don't see the little acts of maintenance that make the experience possible. Scripts get revised, stories get refined, props get repaired, especially around me. The afterward, the conversation with the guest, into listening to what they say. They'll tell you everything you need to know about where you're going if you just listen. And of course, you can take it, look it over, discard what doesn't feel right to your own heart, to your own art, but at least give it a listen. Look for the nuggets of truth. Look for the little pieces of gold there. And I don't think this applies only to performance. It applies to pretty much anything worth having, worth holding on to. Friendships, relationships, businesses, creative projects, communities, even the relationship we have with ourselves. When people talk about success, they're often talking about achievement or money. They're talking about getting somewhere. But increasingly, especially at my age, I find myself interested in a different question. What happens when you arrive? When you've reached your destination, when the audience is there, sitting in their seats and waiting. The book has been published and is out there on its own. The poem has been written and published and under the eyes of strangers. That's where your stewardship begins. And it ain't glamorous. It ain't the pretty part. It's not where the paparazzi come out. We're not opening night, right? Show up for the things that aren't new anymore. Continue to care even after the excitement, after the initial dating romance fades. And I'm talking, yes, about human experience and interaction and relationships, but I'm also talking about your art. When it stops feeling like the new prop and you've recited the same story again and again until you're tired of your own voice, this is where you step in. This is where stewardship happens. It ain't pretty. It ain't dramatic. It ain't fun, maybe, because it's work when it comes right down to it. You are putting your heart out there. And if you nurture those times, it can become more exciting, more fun to see what the old friend that you've had in your backpack for so long, what do they have to say now? What do they have to bring to the audience that you currently have? Nobody gets famous for consistently showing up, but those are often the things that create a meaningful life. The longer I do what I do, the more convinced I am that the most extraordinary things are built with ordinary care, not heroic effort or brilliant inspiration. Ordinary care, repeated. Vacuuming the floor, dusting the shelves, cleaning the books, opening their spines and rereading those words that were so meaningful to you once upon a time. Perhaps they have new meaning for you in your new growth, in your new maturity with the work that you do. Pick up the pen and pick up the story in the manuscript right where you left off. Maybe the characters have something new to say. Maybe your heart is in a different place and can shine light on what you've already put on the paper. Or maybe it's time for editing rather than abandoning. The maintenance is really where the work is. And I guess that's really the thought I wanted to leave you with. As creators and performers and entrepreneurs and storytellers and thoughtful people just trying to build meaningful lives, we've spent a lot of time asking what comes next. What's the next project? What's the next job? What's the next opportunity? What's the next chapter? But maybe there's another question worth asking. What in your life right now deserves better care? Honestly, I wish I had taken the moment to ask that question of myself 10 years ago, 11 years ago, 12 years ago, when I was just barreling towards the next thing rather than tending to my garden. What corner of your life has quietly been waiting for your attention while you've been looking over the horizon towards something new? Because growth doesn't always arrive through expansion. Sometimes it arrives through stewardship. Sometimes the next chapter isn't about building something else. Sometimes it's about becoming a better caretaker of what already has been entrusted to you, that which is sitting on the table right there in front of you. Thanks for listening. Give it a thought. I'd love to hear what you think. Say a word or two in the comments about your own experiences in tending your own garden and what you think of my philosophy or the theme that I've got going for this month. Love to hear from you, and I'll answer any questions that you put down there, either by typing it out or addressing it here, doing it live. If these conversations resonate with you, I would love to continue them through the essays, the newsletter, the Patreon community, the books I've written, or maybe just in person, across the table, having a decent, adult, calm conversation, even if we disagree on our philosophies and the way that we see life. That's how we learn. We learn from each other, not in anger, but in sober contemplation. And that's a gift that we all have sitting right in front of us. I will see you tomorrow, and I'd love to hear from you before then. Wherever you are, whoever you are, more than anything, I hope there's love where you are.